deposits in the wall, and it has a legendary and an unfortunate reputation.
This was an area that was totally brushed in. We have 2 hickories and an ash. The ash is dead, but we also have some red osier dogwood that was buried in all this gray dogwood. So we're opening this up. We're gonna take out one of these hickories, take out the ash, which is dead, trim back the red osier, because the deer will browse on that. We end up with a monoculture of gray dogwood, which is not good. Nothing really grows underneath it besides poison ivy. So this was all gray dogwood with that red osier dogwood in the middle. Now this red osier dogwood is a preferred browse for the white-tailed deer. See, this stuff gets so high that the deer can't reach those tender tips because it's way up here. So when you cut it off and it sprouts in the spring, all those tender shoots are down low where the deer can utilize it. So we're cutting these bigger dogwood, red dogwood stalks between 6 and 12 inches from the ground. So we're also going to cut this little ash tree down and this ash tree here. They're just about dead. But normally, I'll just cut them off at about 2 feet. And in the spring, they'll stump sprout, they'll throw up a bunch of shoots, and the deer like to browse on them as well. They'll stump sprout for a couple of years, and then they eventually die. And then we'll cut the stump down at the ground when it's no longer useful. this is probably pretty boring to everybody, but this is the fun part. Now, I spent the better part of my career in the machining trades, programming CNCs, doing setups and making prototype parts. So this may seem boring. To me, it's fun. I'm not solving anybody's problems. I'm just cutting wood. That's what I'm doing. This is fun. We get it cut during the winter. By next summer it'll be dry enough to burn, especially this ash. And at the same time we're improving the habitat. We've left these ash stumps. Those stumps sprout in the spring. And deer will love to eat on those. We got this red osier dogwood that we left. We've cleared out around these hickory trees. Kind of released them so they don't have as much competition. And they'll grow a lot better. Squirrels like the hickory nuts. And we've expanded the edge of our food plot back, probably, I don't know, 20 feet or so. Doesn't sound like much, but on a small property, it makes a big difference. So boring as it may be to some people, this is what I love doing. I love doing it in the wintertime. Deer season's over. We can come in here and do whatever we want. We don't have to worry about buggering the deer up. Besides, there's poison ivy all over in here. And even now that when I'm working in here, I have to be mindful that there is poison ivy, and I'm probably cutting the vines, and I do keep an eye on it. But the poison ivy in here is not the big vines. It's the little stems that stick up out of the ground, and guaranteed I'm cutting those. Now in the winter they're not going to have a lot of sap in them, but it's there nonetheless. And so I try to keep my gloves on. When I get all done, I'll get all cleaned up and I'll wash up good, because I've had my worst cases of poison ivy in the wintertime, just because you don't think about it, but I do now. Another ash tree. This is dead. This is a good sized tree. This is 12 inches around. Hate that we're losing the ashes, but that's the name of the game right now. So we're going to cut this down. She looks like she wants to lay that way. That's the way she's going to go. So I'm not going to cut the top into firewood. All those branches are going to get stacked into a rabbit habitat. Some of the stuff that's about this size, we'll chop it up and build a little log cabin and then cover it with the brush. The rabbits love it. So we're just gonna split this right here, load it on the sled, take it over to the tent, but not today. That's for another day. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.